yogis, it's Leah here. I wanted to workshop out one of my favorite poses with you all today, and that is Malasana, or our yogi squat. So finding your feet, your toes out, heels in, feet about hip distance, or maybe even a little wider. Everyone's anatomy is different, and especially in this pose that can really vary what it looks like. So find what feels right in your body. And starting to sink your hips low, bringing your hands to heart center, and using your elbows to invite your knees over your toes. Really focusing, maybe as you exhale here, on grounding down through the outer edges of your feet. Maybe as you inhale, you lift to the inner arches of your feet, maybe even lifting your big toes. And as we inhale, finding length from our crown through our entire spine. Maybe as you exhale, dropping your tailbone, feeling the length of your low back. Lifting your heart, again using your heart to leverage your elbows, your chest, your shoulders, to leverage your knees, your thighs outward. There's also quite a few modifications or variations, rather, of our Malasana. You can take a side bend, right hand outside of your toes or inside, using, again, your elbow to leverage your thigh, and reaching left fingertips towards the sky, or maybe even pressing against opposite knee. You can also find a half bind, rotating your thumb down and then bringing your one hand or your left hand behind your low back. You can find an opening of your chest towards the sky here, or you can start to reach, wiggle your right fingers around your knee, reaching for your opposite fingers. You might not connect, and that's totally fine. You can just reach and open your chest that way, drawing your left shoulder back. Maybe use a strap, or maybe bind fingertips. And you can find your other side. There's also our yin version of our Malasana, walking fingertips forward, sending your tailbone back, and then letting the crown of your head fall heavy. Still drawing our weight back into the outer edges of our feet. And when you're doing the yin version of this, you can stay here as long as your body feels all right. Usually I recommend about a minute, maybe starting there. A really nice yin sequence with your Malasana can be here, and then find dangling, so feet about hip width apart, maybe binding pinkies in the creases of your elbows, maybe resting on your thighs, letting your head fall heavy. And then coming back to Malasana, back to your dangling, but spending a minute or so in each. And some of our modifications for our Malasana can be using a block underneath your sits bones, your sacrum, or rather your coccyx, your tailbone. You can find sitting here. If you need a little bit more height, you can also draw your block vertical, finding length in your spine, focusing on the length, integrity of your core and your spine. You can also, sometimes depending on the flexibility of your ankles, bring your feet a little bit closer together and lift your heels. And if you are working on Malasana and can't quite get down, one of my favorite ways to start practicing is up against a wall. So finding, we'll see what this mic pack, your low back on the wall, turning your feet out, and just starting to lower down. Maybe you start here. Maybe you move a little lower, maybe a little lower. Pressing your low back into the wall, and then eventually starting to maybe work your block underneath your tailbone. And that is all for our Malasana today. Thank you guys.